If you're a student looking for a gaming laptop, you're dealing with a very specific set of problems. You need something that can handle your coursework, run modern games at decent frame rates, survive a full day of classes on battery, and ideally not cost you a fortune. Most lists just throw specs at you. We're going to tell you exactly who each laptop is for, what the trade-offs are, and which one actually fits your situation. 5 laptops, all the details you need. Let's get into it. If you find this helpful, a quick subscribe means you'll catch our next breakdown too. We cover tech across every budget, so you can always make a smart call before spending your money. Starting with the Acer Nitro V. And for most students, this is going to be the first laptop worth looking at seriously. You're getting a 13th generation Intel Core, ES5 13420H with 8 cores, paired with an NVIDIA RTX 4050 that supports DLSS 3.5. That combination handles modern games smoothly and has more than enough headroom for creative apps, video editing, and anything your course throws at you. The display is a 15.6-inch FHD IPS panel running at 165 Hz, which is genuinely good for this price range. It ships with 8GB DDR5, expandable to 32GB, and a 512GB PCIe Gen 4 SSD. Connectivity is where this laptop punches above its weight. You get Thunderbolt 4, Killer E2600 Ethernet, Wi-Fi 6, HDMI, and multiple USB ports. The battery is 57 watt-hours with a 135-watt charger, and a 1-year international warranty is included. If you want strong gaming performance without overspending, the Nitro V is where to start. The Lenovo LOQ Essential is designed with exactly this use case in mind, and it shows. It runs a 12th Gen Intel Core i5 12450HX, paired with an NVIDIA RTX 4050, with DLSS 3 support for boosted frame rates in supported titles. The display is a 15.6-inch FHD IPS at 144 Hz, covering 100% sRGB, which means colors are accurate enough for design work, photo editing, and anything beyond just gaming. RAM is 8GB DDR5, upgradable to 32GB, with a 512GB NVMe SSD. At 4.18 pounds in a Luna Gray clamshell chassis, it's one of the more portable options here. The 57.5 watt-hour battery supports rapid charging, and you get Wi-Fi 6, a 720p webcam with a privacy shutter, and Windows 11. There's also a 3-month Xbox Game Pass included in the box. For students who need a reliable all-rounder that handles lectures, assignments, and gaming sessions without switching modes, the LOQ Essential earns its spot here. The KAIGERR 16 is a different kind of pick, and it's worth being upfront about what it is and isn't. Inside, you've got an AMD Ryzen 7 H255 with 8 cores and 16 threads, running up to 4.9 GHz with 16GB DDR5 pre-installed in dual channel and a 512GB NVMe SSD. The display is a 16-inch 1920 by 1200 IPS panel with a 16:10 aspect ratio and thin bezels, which gives you more vertical screen space than most laptops at this size. At 1.75 kilograms, it's genuinely light for a 16-inch machine. The important thing to know, graphics here come from the integrated Radeon RX Vega 8, not a dedicated GPU. That means casual gaming, older titles, and indie games will run fine. But demanding modern games at high settings are not what this machine is designed for. So where it excels is as a study laptop that handles light gaming on the side, with strong portability, Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 6, and RAM that's upgradable up to 64 GB. If your priority is a lightweight machine for lectures with enough power to play games occasionally, the KAIGERR 16 makes sense. If you need to run demanding titles consistently, look elsewhere on this list. For students who want the best performance available and are willing to spend for it, the ASUS ROG Strix G16 is the top end of this list. This runs an Intel Core i7 14650HX paired with an NVIDIA RTX 5060 from NVIDIA's Blackwell architecture with DLSS 4 and max Q efficiency. The display is a 16-inch FHD plus 16:10 panel at 165 Hz with a 3 millisecond response time and an ACR film that reduces glare, which matters a lot if you're using it in different lighting conditions throughout the day. Storage is 16GB DDR, 5-5600 and a 1TB PCIe Gen 4 SSD. Cooling uses a vapor chamber, tri-fan layout, and conductinaut liquid metal, which keeps the machine quiet and sustains performance under extended loads. Wi-Fi 7, full RGB lighting, and a stealth mode for quiet environments rounded out. This is a premium machine priced accordingly. For students doing content creation, game development, or anything GPU intensive alongside gaming, it justifies the cost. Rounding out the list with the most budget-friendly option, the HP Victus 15. It runs an AMD Ryzen 5 7535HS with 6 cores and 12 threads, paired with an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2050 and 16GB DDR5 already installed. The display is a 15.6-inch FHD IPS panel at 144 Hz, which handles 1080p gaming and everyday multitasking without issues. Storage is a 512GB PCIe M.2 SSD, expandable. And RAM supports up to 64GB. Connectivity covers Wi-Fi 6, HDMI 2.1, USB-C, and an SD card reader, which is genuinely useful if you're working with photos or footage. The battery is 52.5 watt-hours in a 5.1-pound chassis. The RTX 2050 is the oldest GPU on this list, so you'll be running newer titles at lower settings. But for students who mainly need a capable everyday machine that can game on the side without spending much, the Victus 15 gets the job done. Here's how to narrow it down quickly. If budget is your main concern, the HP Victus 15 gives you a capable machine at the lowest price. For better gaming performance on a student budget, the Acer Nitro V and Lenovo LOQ Essential are both strong picks. The Nitro V edges ahead on display refresh rate and connectivity, while the LOQ Essential wins on color accuracy and build quality. Now, if you want a light, portable machine for study with occasional casual gaming, the KAIGERR 16 is worth considering. Just go in, knowing it uses integrated graphics. And if money isn't the limiting factor and you want the best performance on this list, the ASUS ROG Strix G16 is the clear answer. 3 things to always check before buying as a student: battery life under real conditions, how much the RAM is expandable, and whether the cooling will keep the machine quiet in a library or lecture hall. Those factors matter just as much as raw specs when you're carrying it around every day. If this helped you narrow things down, consider subscribing. We break down the best tech at every price point so you can spend your money on something that actually fits your life. See you in the next one.